There's a moment in every story where you wonder, how did it even get this far? A government agency, one of the most powerful in the world, and a teenager, barely old enough to drive. Their battleground? A $20 computer. This is the story of the boy who hacked NASA. It begins in South Miami, 1999. Jonathan James was 15 years old. He wasn't rich, he wasn't privileged. He didn't even have the best equipment. His weapon of choice was a used, beat-up computer worth less than a dinner out. But what he did have was curiosity and time. Jonathan grew up in a world where the internet was still young, still wild. It was the new frontier, a place where anyone, no matter how small, could leave a mark. To him, hacking wasn't about crime, it was about exploration, about pushing against walls just to see if they would fall. At first, his intrusions were small, a few local servers, a few companies nobody had ever heard of. But curiosity is a hunger, and every wall he climbed revealed another, taller one. Until one night, Jonathan found himself staring at the systems of NASA, the space agency, the same institution that put humans on the moon, the same organization that guarded American secrets worth billions. And here was a 15-year-old boy sitting in his bedroom, wondering if the locks on their digital doors were really as strong as the world believed. He typed. He waited. And then he was in. What Jonathan stole wasn't money. He wasn't looking for fame. He copied a piece of software worth about $1.7 million that controlled the life support systems of the International Space Station. Think about that. A boy, not even old enough to vote, was inside the oxygen control code of a spacecraft orbiting Earth. And as if that wasn't enough, he intercepted over 3,000 internal messages from the Department of Defense. For weeks, Jonathan lived in a secret world where his keystrokes touched the heart of American power. He was invisible, untouchable, until he wasn't. NASA noticed. The Pentagon noticed. Their systems slowed, cracked, behaved strangely. Investigators followed the trail, one digital breadcrumb at a time, until it led to a quiet suburban street. Imagine the sound of that knock on the door. Federal agents swarming a teenager's home, computers ripped from the desk, parents in shock, neighbors whispering. The boy who once explored out of curiosity, now branded a criminal. Jonathan James became the first juvenile in the United States ever sentenced for cybercrime. He was just 16. House arrest, probation, his name etched forever into headlines as the hacker who broke into NASA. But here's the thing about Jonathan's story. It's not just about what he did. It's about what it revealed. That the strongest institutions in the world were built on fragile code. That power could be undermined, not by armies, not by money, but a kid with curiosity and a secondhand computer. NASA shut down its systems for weeks, cost millions in damages. The government doubled down on cybersecurity, and Jonathan's story became a cautionary tale whispered in classrooms, in boardrooms, in military briefings. But behind the legend of the teenage hacker was a human being. Friends described him as brilliant, restless, always searching for something bigger, but also vulnerable. Years later, his name resurfaced in connection with another hacking investigation, one he swore he had nothing to do with. Under pressure, fearing prison time he couldn't face, Jonathan James took his own life at the age of 24. His last words in a letter read, "I honestly see no hope of a positive outcome. I have no faith in the justice system. Perhaps my actions today, and this letter, will send a stronger message to the public. And that's the part that lingers. This wasn't just a story of rebellion or crime. It was the story of a kid who outsmarted the system, only to be crushed by it. A reminder that the walls we build to protect ourselves can also become cages. That genius, when left misunderstood, can collapse into tragedy. Jonathan James proved something extraordinary, that power is not always where we expect it to be. Sometimes, it's in the hands of a boy in his bedroom with nothing more than a $20 computer and the courage to ask, "What happens if I try?"